Could you give us a sense of your main takeaways from your meetings, both bilateral and the ones at the World Bank group meetings?
The World Bank and the fund meetings, I think the discussions overall were looking at what was causing the global slowdown, the long low as they call it, is the worry in most people's minds about how interest rates are continuing to be low for too long, and the question of whether it will continue like that. Also the question of, in a way, investment not really happening as much as it should. Economy is wondering how long this cycle will continue. Although the overall tone and tenor was hopefully not for very long. There were of course voices from different continents of countries which felt that the problem was not uniform. In many countries, like I'll quote the example of Minister from Nigeria, who said interest rates have been not at all low in our country and investment returns were high, in fact attractive enough. And therefore, with such voices and India also taking this position that different geographies require different solutions.
The critics and the oppositions always question the state of the economy right now. Were there any discussions here? Were there concerns when you met up with, whether it's bilaterals, whether it's bank, were there concerns, and how is that addressed?
About the global economy.
That's right. About the Indian economy in particular.
About the Indian economy, nobody else spoke. I spoke myself. That's about it. Why would others speak to us?
No. There were concerns, whether the whole slowdown or, like the opposition or the critics.
If anything, I'd like to show you two pictorial representation of the economies. People, if you don't mind sharing it, it will be helpful. If anything, and this is not my inference, I'll give you the two charts which have been given. And I'm not saying this with a sense of, oh, look, I'm more saying it with a sense of responsibility. That the global economic slowdown, if anything, and the estimates about growth for the next year are largely pegging on India's and China's growth estimates. In the sense, on their performance depends the rest of the global growth also. That is the kind of picture that you get when you look at these two charts, which go into the details of how the slowdown, whilst affecting the rest of the world in a particular fashion, at least in India and China, the slowdown is not so bad. In fact, when you talk about next year, the impact of India's growth is much better than even that is shown of China's. I'm not doing the comparison. The figures which have been given by them, the charts which have been given them, I'll share it with you.